Hey, Raiders fans. The excitement around Las Vegas is heating up as we dive into all the latest developments for our team. The offseason is always a time of speculation, dreams, and a little bit of frustration because, let's be honest, Raider seasons in recent years have left a lot to be desired. But that's exactly why this period is so exciting. This is the time where change is possible, where hope can take root, and where the right moves can turn a franchise around. Every fan has to keep the glass half full, and right now, the main question on everyone's mind is who will take the reins as the next head coach. The coaching carousel in the NFL is always unpredictable, and with Las Vegas likely looking for a fresh start, the possibilities are endless. It's not just about internal decisions either. The movement across the league can ripple and influence what happens in Sin City. If other teams release their coaches or shifts happen unexpectedly, it can open doors for names that might not have seemed realistic a few months ago. Let's start with a name that has been floating around in the rumor mill and has sparked plenty of debate among fans: Bill Belichick. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would anyone even consider Bill Belichick for the Raiders? Let me clarify. I'm not advocating for it personally, but the NFL is a world driven by speculation, and Belichick's name has come up in various reports, hinting at the possibility of interest from at least a couple of teams. The point here is not that this is my preferred scenario. It's that, given his history with Tom Brady and the unparalleled dynasty they built together, the idea alone is enough to make people pause. Belichick's tenure in New England was historic, but the final years exposed some cracks, and his current stint at North Carolina has its own challenges. While age and recent performance might make the move seem unlikely, in the NFL, past achievements and relationships still carry enormous weight. A team owner like Mark Davis, who respects proven success, could be tempted to explore the conversation, even if only behind the scenes. But here's the thing, bringing in Belichick could be a repeat of the Pete Carroll situation. Hiring a legendary coach whose best days might be behind him doesn't necessarily translate into immediate success. The Raiders need a head coach who can energize a roster, attract talent, and navigate the unique challenges of this team. Belichick's resume is undeniably impressive, but the context matters. There's a risk of relying on past glory rather than current capability, and history shows that even the most accomplished coaches can struggle in new environments when the circumstances are vastly different. At the same time, you can't ignore the allure of pairing someone of Belichick's caliber with the resources available in Las Vegas. It's a complicated calculus of experience versus adaptability, legacy versus future potential. Moving past Belichick, let's explore names that bring a different angle, those who are currently employed but might be open to a change of scenery. These are coaches who have proven themselves in the league, have strong leadership skills, and could bring stability to a team in need of direction. One name that consistently emerges in these discussions is Mike Tomlin. Here's why Tomlin is such an interesting prospect. He has maintained a remarkably consistent level of success in Pittsburgh, never having a losing season in his entire tenure and producing 18 straight winning campaigns. While playoff results in recent years have been disappointing, his overall track record demonstrates an ability to sustain competitiveness and cultivate a winning culture. Bringing in Tomlin would immediately signal credibility and experience to the entire organization. Players want to compete for coaches who have won at the highest level and know how to manage the pressures of the league. Tomlin's leadership could be exactly what the Raiders need to reestablish themselves as a serious contender in the AFC West. It's worth noting that fans sometimes get frustrated with coaches who have long tenures, especially if they perceive stagnation. Tomlin has faced criticism in Pittsburgh due to playoff struggles, yet his consistency in regular seasons is remarkable. For Las Vegas, a coach like him could provide the perfect blend of stability and authority, someone who knows the intricacies of the NFL, but is also capable of integrating new ideas and assistance to elevate the team's performance. A strong offensive coordinator paired with Tomlin's defensive acumen could create a balanced, competitive team that fans would finally have reason to believe in week after week. On the other end of the spectrum, there's a conversation around younger coaches or those currently serving as coordinators who might be ready to step into a head coaching role. These candidates often bring innovation, energy, and a hunger to prove themselves, which can invigorate a roster and energize a fan base. For example, Kevin Stefanski from Cleveland, while not universally seen as a perfect fit, represents an interesting scenario. Stefanski has experience under strong coaching trees and has operated within competitive teams. And while his record has been mixed, there are elements of his leadership and offensive strategy that could be valuable. In the NFL, evaluating a coach is never just about wins and losses. It's about potential, adaptability, relationships with players, and the ability to implement a vision successfully. Stefanski's connection to certain coaching philosophies and his experiences in Minnesota and Cleveland offer intriguing possibilities, even if he wouldn't be the first choice for a marquee hire. Ultimately, the Raiders' coaching search highlights the complexities of building a competitive NFL team. It's not only about names and reputations, but also about timing, organizational fit, and strategic vision. The offseason is a chessboard, and each move by other teams can influence decisions in Las Vegas. Owners, general managers, and influential figures like Tom Brady, who have a stake in shaping the team's direction, all play a role in the decision-making process. The challenge lies in finding a leader who can not only manage a locker room, but also craft a sustainable path to success, balancing short-term wins with long-term stability. For Raiders fans, this period is a mix of anticipation and anxiety. The hope is that the right hire can transform the team from a perennial underperformer into a legitimate contender, and the discussions around Belichick, Tomlin, and Stefanski are just the tip of the iceberg in this high-stakes scenario. The conversations around potential head coaches also underscore how interconnected the league is. Moves in one city can trigger unexpected opportunities elsewhere. For example, if a team like Pittsburgh or Cleveland experiences internal shifts, it could directly influence the options available to the Raiders. Every rumor, every report, and every subtle indicator from league insiders feeds into the speculation that fuels this exciting time of year. It's also a reminder that in football, nothing is purely hypothetical. Owners and decision-makers are constantly evaluating risk versus reward, and even seemingly improbable hires can materialize if the alignment is right. For Las Vegas, the objective is clear. Identify a leader who can command respect, execute strategy, and inspire confidence both on and off the field. Whether that person is a seasoned veteran like Tomlin, a legendary figure like Belichick, or a rising coordinator with untapped potential, the goal remains the same. Build a foundation for sustained success, restore hope to the fan base, and set the Raiders on a path where they can compete at the highest level in the AFC and beyond. Continuing the conversation about the Raiders' coaching situation, one of the most fascinating aspects of the offseason is the idea of exploring options that aren't traditional. The league is full of surprises, and sometimes the most unconventional moves produce the biggest results. With the Las Vegas Raiders, there's a real sense that the organization is at a crossroads. After several underwhelming seasons, the urgency to find the right leader is greater than ever. It's not just about filling a vacancy. It's about setting a direction that can bring stability and excitement back to a franchise that has struggled to find consistent success. And that's why the rumors surrounding potential trades for head coaches, as crazy as they sound, are part of the conversation. While trading for a coach isn't common, the NFL is a league that thrives on calculated risks, and when the stakes are high, unconventional strategies suddenly become plausible. For example, consider a scenario where an established coach with a track record of success decides he's ready for a new challenge. That opens the door for discussions about acquiring talent, not just on the field, but on the sidelines. It's a reminder that building a team isn't only about drafting quarterbacks or signing free agents. Leadership from the top down shapes the culture, the work ethic, and ultimately the results. The Raiders, historically, have sometimes struggled to combine talent with structure, and bringing in a coach who can immediately impose credibility can be a game changer. That's why the discussion around names like Mike Tomlin is so compelling. He has proven he can sustain winning seasons, manage high-pressure environments, and command respect from players and staff alike. His presence alone can elevate the morale of a roster that has been searching for direction. Another factor in the offseason equation is the role of coordinators and the influence they have on shaping potential head coaching candidates. Many fans overlook the fact that great head coaches often rise from successful coordinator positions. This is where young, innovative minds like offensive coordinators or defensive masterminds come into play. These are the coaches who have proven themselves capable of managing complex schemes, developing players, and adjusting on the fly. Their exposure to high-level decision-making prepares them for the moment when an opportunity arises. For Las Vegas, it's not just about who is currently available. It's about identifying the individuals who can thrive under the unique pressure of rebuilding a team with a passionate and demanding fan base. Someone like Kevin Stefanski, while controversial in some circles, demonstrates how experience paired with adaptability can make a coordinator a legitimate candidate for advancement. The Raiders' leadership will need to weigh potential upside against risk, balancing the desire for innovation with a need for stability. Then there's the reality of the draft and roster positioning, which plays a huge role in shaping offseason decisions. The Raiders are in a position where acquiring high draft picks is critical. If they can secure a top selection, they not only have the chance to bring in elite talent at the quarterback position, but they also gain leverage in negotiations and free agency. The combination of high draft capital and a skilled head coach could accelerate the rebuilding process, allowing the team to compete sooner rather than later. Ownership, management, and coaching staff all need to align on a clear vision because misalignment can set a franchise back years. Every decision, from who is coaching to which players are drafted, creates a ripple effect that defines the identity of the team. For Raiders fans, this is both thrilling and nerve-wracking. The offseason is full of possibilities, but it's also a reminder of how high the stakes truly are. Off the field, relationships and past successes play an enormous role. Coaches who have built strong networks and earned respect across the league have an edge in being considered for high-profile positions. Someone like Mike Tomlin doesn't just bring experience. He brings a reputation that commands attention. Players want to compete for coaches with a proven track record, and assistant coaches want to align with leaders who can elevate their own careers. This makes the Raiders' search particularly intriguing because they are not starting from scratch. They have the resources, the market, and a roster with untapped potential, but they need the right leader to unlock it. The strategic approach to hiring a head coach involves looking beyond the immediate resume and evaluating how a coach's philosophy aligns with the team's needs, culture, and long-term goals. There's also an element of timing that cannot be ignored. NFL teams operate in a highly dynamic environment, and decisions made by other franchises can create openings that were previously unimaginable. A coach who seemed settled in one city may suddenly become available due to unexpected shifts, and Las Vegas could benefit from these developments if they are proactive and strategic. The idea that other teams' movements influence the Raiders' options underscores just how interconnected the league is. It's like a giant chess game, where every piece moved across the NFL landscape can impact Las Vegas possibilities. Fans have to understand that while rumors can seem far-fetched, they're often grounded in strategic considerations that make sense from an ownership and management perspective. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are sweeping through the NFL world, and fans can hardly contain their excitement. Rumors suggest that the Raiders may have just pulled off one of the most jaw-dropping moves of the offseason, potentially transforming their defense into an absolute nightmare for opponents. Sources close to the team hint that a deal with superstar defensive tackle Aaron Donald could be imminent, and if it goes through, the Raiders' front seven might enter an entirely new stratosphere. Imagine the sheer presence of Donald wreaking havoc alongside a line already known for its aggression. Analysts are already speculating that this move could be the beginning of what some are calling Raider Wall 2.0, a defensive unit so dominant that opposing quarterbacks might think twice before stepping into the pocket. Rumors indicate that team executives see this as a golden opportunity to pair one of the league's most feared defenders with a scheme designed to maximize chaos and disruption. The mere possibility has ignited a frenzy among fans, who are envisioning sacks, tackles for loss, and turnovers in quantities rarely seen in the league. Social media is buzzing with speculation about how Donald's presence could reshape the Raiders' defensive philosophy. Some insiders suggest the team is prepared to build around him, tweaking schemes and personnel to create a wall that opponents will find nearly impossible to breach. The talk isn't just about stats. It's about intimidation, about sending a signal that the Raiders are no longer a team opponents can take lightly. Every scrimmage, every practice session could become a highlight reel if even a fraction of these rumors prove true. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the notion of Aaron Donald donning silver and black has already sparked heated debates among pundits. Could this be the start of a new dynasty on defense? Will the Raiders finally have the unit capable of altering the balance of power in the league? Only time will tell, but for now, the NFL world is abuzz with whispers of a nightmare defense in the making, a force that could turn the Raiders into one of the most feared teams in football. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.